Hi everybody, I'm on the train to Belfast, moving through a deep river valley in the broody mountains of Mourne, about 2 parts agrarian and 600 parts Game of Thrones. At any rate, I've met a really interesting woman by the name of Monica Byrne on the way up, and I thought you'd like to hear a little bit of what she has to say about the Irish and their connection to land.
You're Irish and you're born on the land. You always want to hold on to the land. It's part of your history, it's part of your DNA. You never want to let it go. But even being born in Dublin and never having any land, all Irish people love the land. We love holding on to our land. We love watching the mountains, the sea. It's part of us, whatever. We want to hold on to it forever. We don't want to populate it. Everybody likes the land. That's it.
And there's a kind of mystical aspect from traveling around Ireland that you see in the land. You see that in the landscape. You see that in the mist that covers the ground in the morning, and the fogs, and the beauty of the sea. This kind of thing. Is that part of it for you?
Yes, that's it. I've just back from Kerry last week or whatever, and Kerry is magnificent, and that's what you see. And when you look out on that, people want their house right on the front to see that. My friend has just built a house there for that very reason, gone back to her roots, and her house overlooks the sea and the mountain. And if she tells me one more time to look at the photographs of her house overlooking the sea and overlooking the mountains or whatever, she absolutely adores it, as does everybody. Everybody's so jealous of her having this view of the mist rising up over the mountains and looking into the sea, and it's beautiful.
And then there's the aspect that the Gordomore, that devastating incident for Ireland that took place in the 19th century, in the 1840s. And I'm wondering how that plays into the Irish view of the land and what the land means. I think what I'm asking you is, what does it mean to lose the land, and how does that affect your feeling for it?
Yeah, well, I think you have to just look at the movie The Field and see the hold the land has on the Irish people. I suppose we were under British rule for such a long time. People had to fight. There's so many wars over the land or whatever. They fought for the little bit of land they had. So again, I would say it's in our DNA or whatever to fight for the land. There were so many people were murdered on it, killed on it, just fighting over a little patch of land that might have even been so gravelly you couldn't grow on it. But the Irish had to fight for such a long time to hold on to the land. And we've been invaded so many times by so many different people. And the Irish, I know they come out with the fighting Irish. We can see why. It's not talking about boxing and Conor McGregor when they say the fighting Irish. They had to fight for every bit of land they have.
And can you tell me what the famine means to you specifically, or the Irish more in general even, in terms of losing people? You not only lost your landscape through colonization, but you lost so many of your people. Yeah. Do you ever think about that?
Hugely. Well, for me personally, as I said to you, if I read books, I get really upset. It really upsets me to think that people were starving. I think if you look at even the movie The Titanic, which makes you think what the Irish people had to go through on the floor of the Titanic or whatever, and how they were living. So I can imagine that against what they were living what they were doing when they were going on the boats over to America and Canada and all the Australia in the middle of the famine